everyone, my name's Rhiannon from Blue Dog Board Games, and today we're going to be carrying on our solo Uwe Rosenberg series, and we're going to be going all the way back to his release of Agricola. So this is absolutely one of Uwe Rosenberg's oldest games that are really well known. I would regard it as quite an old game in the board game community because it is just so focused on the cult of the new games. Agricola is a very when I went into it, I was expecting it to feel old, feel a bit aged, and it was one of the first worker placement games that really sort of opened up that genre of gaming. The copy that I have, this is the revised edition. I believe it was published in 2022 with the Anna meeples. I have not played the really old version, the 2007 release of Agricola, so I don't know what changes have occurred. I'm assuming it's just some tightening up of bits and pieces because there's a lot of cards in this game. So maybe there's some reworking there. So we're all set up, ready to go, so we're just going to get straight into it. So this is what Agricola looks like. We are going to just set up the first round of the game. So we're actually playing, is it 14? Yeah, 14 rounds, and they're sort of split into stages. So stage 1 comes all the way around here. So you've got 4 rounds in stage 1, 3 in stage 2, then 2, 2, 2, and 1. And you will draw a card for every single one of those rounds, and they are then placed on the board, so every round you're going to get more and more places to go to. So another place of variation in this game is because you've got 4 stage 1 cards, you can shuffle them around, and so you may be seeing different cards come out in a different order. So we're going to get started here, and it's very much like a lot of his other games where you start the round where you accumulate lots of stuff. So we're going to go around and accumulate. I will fast forward this bit in future rounds, but just so you can see how it goes. So all of these are static spaces at the side. We've drawn the sheep market as our first one. Very helpfully, we've actually got an overview of stages here. So we know in stage 1 that all these 4 cards are going to come out at some point. We just don't know when. So that's really nice and quite helpful actually, especially if you're not too familiar with the game. The forest space is where we accumulate wood. It says 3 wood, but in a solo game, we are just going to accumulate 2. And this can get very busy, this particular space. 1 clay, 1 reed, and 1 food. And that is basically it. We are ready to start placing our meeples. We have got 2 farmers to play with. And you will also see we have some cards here. So this is ultimately where Agricola sort of differs in gameplay compared to a lot of his other games. There are big decks of cards that the game comes with. We are only going to be drawing 7 yellow cards, which are occupation cards, and we're going to be drawing 7 orange cards, which are minor improvement cards. You will see over here you've got red cards as well. These are major improvements, so we can buy them at certain points in the game if we want to. Occupation cards are persistent effects, which sort of help you sort of shape where the game is going. So it may help you to specialize in a certain area of the game or sort of enhance your ability to do a certain action. And then the minor improvements are more like a one-time effect or a very small persistent bonus. So to begin with, what we should really be doing is looking at our occupations, seeing if we can see any good pattern between them, which ones we may want to play, and then have a look at our minor improvements to see which ones may complement those. And then we will place our meeples, and we've got 2 farmers to start with. In this game you can build, extend your house and increase the number of meeples later on in the game, but we will see that we're not able to actually do that until at least stage 2, and it may not be until late stage 2 as well, depending on where that card is in that deck. So anyway, let's have a look at our occupation cards. Okay, so we've got the scythe worker. When you play this card, you immediately get 1 grain. In the field phase of each harvest, you can harvest 1 additional grain from each of your grain fields. That's nice. A lot of these, you'll read through them and you'll be like, that's nice, that's nice, that's nice, and you can't really pay. They do cost to play. So you do sort of want to be mindful of which ones you're going for. Each time you take a build fences action, you do not have to pay wood for 3 of the fences. Wow. Oh, that could be good. The roof baluster. When you play this card, you can immediately pay 1 food. If you do, you get 1 stone for each room you have. Oh wow. You can renovate your wooden house directly to stone without renovating to clay first. I like that. That's really good. Each time you use a wood accumulation space, you get an additional bake bread action. That could be quite good as well. See, a lot of these, you look at them and go, wow, that's really good. Wow, that's really good. And it's quite tricky to sort of know which ones are going to be best for you. During scoring, you get 1 bonus point for each pasture containing at least 1 animal or having unused capacity for at least 3 more animals. I don't like that. No, go away. When you play this card, you immediately get 1 wood. Once you live in a stone house, at the start of each round, you can build exactly 1 stable for 1 wood. That could complement that one quite well. So I'm looking at these 3, I think. There's probably a bit too much, but we'll see. And then these, let's see what we've got. We've got get more clay. This is gonna, some of these have requirements on, so we can see like a cost to play in a corner. And then you've also got like a requirement. So in order to play the strawberry patch, I would need to have at least 2 vegetable fields somewhere. So I may not be able to do that until later in the game. For each person. Oh, that's just rough points at the end of the game. The bottles. Exchange clay for stone. That could be good, because if I'm trying to get a stone house, I could be... Ooh, that's quite nice actually. This one says, at any time you can exchange 2, 3 or 4 clay for 1, 2 or 3 stone. So I'm half thinking clay starts to accumulate at the beginning of the game. I could try and grab loads of clay, play this, transfer it to stone, and then use it for renovation perhaps. I could even play this one after it to like double the amount of clay. Get food for using the cattle market. Each improvement costs you 1 less wood. These are all right actually. When you play this card, you immediately get 1 clay. Okay, I've got quite a nice selection here. So, our first person. I have found in this game that I tend to go down a certain route, and I'm not too encouraged to try different methods. I'll talk about that a little bit more in my final thoughts of the game. So, I think for this playthrough, I sort of will play a similar game to what I usually do and see. It'll probably go bottoms up, but we'll see. We're going to go ahead and start getting some crops ready, I think. Yeah, so we're going to go here and we're going to plough a field. Now, we can just go ahead and take a field and stick it anywhere on the board. There's no like adjacency rules in this regard. However, once you've placed something, you then need to put similar tiles or things next to each other. So I'm going to stick my field over the right hand side, which means I can now only pop fields in these 2 spaces. I can't now start building fields over here. And then I think I may as well go and get some grain. And that's our seed there. There we go. And that's it. The first, I would say probably 9 rounds of this game go by so fast. And you'll be like looking at the clock when you're playing, being like, this game's going to be over in about 5 minutes. And what's the point? But then most of my plays can take about 45 minutes at least. As I sit there and sort of contemplate where I'm going. And right, so I think we want to leave the wood to accumulate a bit more. We could look to play an occupation. And we do ideally want to try and get one of these major improvements. Major improvements are super useful to help you feed your people. That is the crux of this game. Feeding people is expensive, especially in the solo game. In the multiplayer game, each person only needs 2 food. In the solo game, each person needs 3 food. So at the moment, I'm going to be trying to pay them 6 food. I have no food at the moment. And harvests occur at the end around 4, 7, 9, 11, 13 and 14. So I've only got a couple more rounds left before I need to feed them. And all of these improvements just help to utilize your resources better. So for example, it will allow me to bake bread with grain or convert animals and vegetables to food. Otherwise, I can only swap out vegetables and grain for one food. So it just utilizes them so much more. So I'm thinking maybe I'll go and get the clay now. And then I can go and grab that fireplace. I think that might be a good idea. So I'm going to grab the clay, then I'm going to come over here. Sorry, I'm supposed to be lying these people down so you can see it a little easier. And then I think it tells you your cost in the top right. You may be able to see that there are two of certain types of improvements. So there's two fireplaces. They are both identical. They just have like a different cost. So this one's only 2 clay, this one's 3 clay on the board. And it just means that in a multiplayer game, other people can have the chance to grab them as well. But you want to be quick so you can get the cheaper one. And that's it. So we're in round 3. So all grain utilization. So this is where we can sow our seeds. We can bake bread. So I think maybe we'll look to sow soon, whilst we wait for all of this the wood to accumulate. What I'm thinking is I want to try and get new workers as fast as possible, which means as soon as that wish for children comes out on the board in the next stage in this section here, I want to jump on it. But in order to be able to get a new meeple, you need to have space for them. So what I'm going to try and do, I think I want to build a room in a minute, but I think I want to try and build 2 at a time to like save going back again and again and again and again. You can have up to 5 rooms and each room can house only 1 person. And I'm also thinking as well, it would be really good to build stables at the same time. I really want to build 2 rooms and at least 1 stable, but that's a lot of wood. That would need 12 wood. We'll see. that's quite a lot. I should maybe stop being greedy. Okay, should we plow and get some grain? Perhaps I'll do that. Let's plow a field. And remember, it has to be next to it, one that you've already got. And I think if I get some grain, next time I can perhaps gain another grain, sow, and then that final grain, because I'll have 3 grain at that point and only 2 fields, I can bake some bread with it. And perhaps we can either go fishing or grab the sheep and convert the poor sheep to food. To feed, perhaps. Let's see. Let's come back. You see, like, we're already on round 4. It's so fast. But these last few rounds, you can sit there for a good 5-10 minutes or so pondering what you want to do. There's such a tight puzzle, this one, and it's quite exciting to see your final score at the end of the game because it's super comparable and super competitive. So each time you may be only squeezing an extra point or 2 out of your game, but it can feel quite like a good achievement because you are basically playing such a small, not too variable game, and being able to be just that smidge more efficient is quite cool. I'm just thinking though, that's not going to get me much food, is it? Because if I get a grain and then I sow, when you sow, you put 1 in your field and you gain 2 from your supply and put them in your field, so you are increasing your yield. So I'm just going to work out like how much food would I be able to get. So if I went there, I would have 3 grain. I could sow, which would mean I put 2 of them in here. And then I could bake bread, so I'd get 2 food. And then when we go to the harvest phase, I'll be harvesting 1 grain from each. So that would only be another 2 food. So I'd only have 4 food. And I need 6. So I can't actually remember if there's begging in other games. So if you cannot feed your workers, you have to take a begging marker. I haven't even got them out because I try my utmost to not do it. It's detrimental. It's -3 points at the end of the game for each marker you have, and 3 points is a lot. I don't want to do that. So I think I'm going to go and pick up these sheep. Oh, sorry, sheep. So we can either put sheep in pastures that are like fully enclosed with little fences that you can build. And they may be able to be like kept on your board by stables, or you can keep one as a pet in your house. You can only have one pet, and the rest of them I'm going to convert to food. So that's 6 food, because my fireplace allows me to cook each sheep into 2 food each. So now I've got 6 food and I can feed all of my people. So what do I want to do with my final person? I think I'm quite happy to let this wood accumulate still. Next time I will have enough to build 2 rooms. So maybe I should go to the reed bank. Maybe I'll go to the reed bank now. I'm just thinking, do I need to get one of these occupations out now? Each time you use a wood accumulation space, you get an additional baked bread action. I don't really want to bake bread right now. I just need more people. It's such a tight game. I think we can wait for this one. It'll give me a wood, but that's about living in a stone house. In fact, I need to play this one first, renovate from wood directly to stone. But we're still a bit premature. We want to build, I think we want to build up our rooms first before we renovate. So maybe we'll go and get the reed, just in case the basic wish for children comes out next round. And then we could potentially build rooms and then go and get a new meeple. I think that's safest. Yeah. There we go. Okay. So now we have finished our, it's basically at the end of every column, bar this one. This is just a little anomaly up here. So you get your harvests here, 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 and here. So we're now harvesting. So I like to bring all my people home first. And then we take 1 crop from the top of every stack that we've got in our fields. I haven't planted anything yet, so we're not harvesting anything. But the next stage is feed our people. So remember, in a solo game, you have to pay 3 food for every person, and I've got 2 people. So they're going to eat every piece of food that I have for them. The exception is if you've got a baby in that round. So if you go to the Wish for Children space, you get a baby meeple on that space. And as long as they were taken in that particular round, they only need 1 food. Then every round after that, they're back to the standard 3. The only other phase now is breeding animals. I've only got 1 sheep, so I am not breeding my sheep. And then we go straight to round 5. And let's see if we get our... No, we don't. Okay, so we are in the redevelopment. I don't want to redevelop my house yet. I haven't built enough rooms. I want the Wish for Children, so we're going to have to wait for that, which is really annoying. Oh well. It's quite, exciting though to try and wait and see which ones are coming out. This isn't too bad though, I guess, because we could now, how much is that? I was thinking we could go and get this wood now, but I think it may be worth waiting 1 more turn, because then we would have 12 wood there, which would allow us to build 2 rooms and a stable. Okay, so I could look to sow some seeds. That could be good. I'm just thinking, when are the vegetables coming out? The vegetables are coming out in the next stage. I could look to gain this food, but I may as well, because I'm not needing it yet, I may as well let it accumulate a little bit more. I could look to play one of these occupations now because I have like a spare turn or so while I'm waiting for that Wish for Children space to come out. I do like that one. Each time you build fences, you don't have to pay for 3 of the fences you build. What about these then? That's about clay and stone. I'm not really worried about that right now. You can use wood or clay to build the fences. Do I want to build fences right now? Maybe. I think maybe it's better off concentrating on my fields now. I'm going to go and plough. I've got an additional field. And then... Oh, I don't know if I wanted to do that. No, I don't want to plough. I'm not ploughing. I'm going to go and get some grain. And then I'm coming here to sow and bake bread. So to sow, you take a seed from your inventory, which is just a normal grain. Take 2 more from the supply and then plant it in a field. I'm going to do that again. That's only happening with grain. If you're planting vegetables, you only take 1 from the supply. So it's... your vegetables are a bit more valuable because they can usually be worth more food. Then I'm going to bake bread. So I'm going to go and bake bread and swap you for 2 food. Okay. Everyone comes home. Please be the Wish for Children. Please. Oh no. It's not. Okay. We're just going to have to be patient. Get stone. Oh, that's not what I wanted. But we'll just have to see what else we can do whilst we wait for it. I don't know whether it's worth waiting for it or whether I should just stop messing around and get on with it. I feel like the game is on pause until I can get some more workers. Shall I go and get the wood now? I could go and get the wood, and then I can go and build 2 rooms and a stable. And then that will mean next time I can go and get a meeple and what else do I want to do? Get some food. Yeah. Yes, I'm going to do that. So let's go and get all this wood. You know what? I'm going to keep it there because it's going to be spent now. So I'm coming up here to do the farm expansion. So I can do this as many times as I want. I can spend 5 wood and 2 reed to build the same type of room. So you've got 3 types of rooms. You've got your like mud rooms. Oh, they're not mud. They're not mud. They are wooden rooms. You've got your clay rooms and you've got your stone rooms. Your stone rooms are worth the most points at the end of the game. So I'm going to spend 5 wood, another 5 wood, and 4 reed to get 2 extra spaces. So I've got 2 extra rooms that I'm expanding with. And again, you can only like expand your house. You can't start making a new house. And then it says and or you can then build stables for 2 wood each. So I'm going to spend this 2 wood on a stable. Now stables are able to attract one animal to them, and so you can sort of keep them in an unfenced in area and they will stay there. And I think I may stick them over here. Yeah, I think that was a good shout, because what happens now is we're going to get this card. I forgot that we get to play a minor improvement after we go there. I'll have to have a look. I have some clay though, so maybe that would be good. We desperately need food. We don't have any food. We have 2 food. But on the plus side, the new person's coming out on a round where we're harvesting. We've got like a harvest at the end, and so they're only going to need 1 food. So I'm only going to need 7 food instead of 9. So let's have a look at these improvements. Yeah, this could be a good opportunity to play this one. At any time you can exchange clay for stone. And I could go here to perhaps do that sooner rather than later. You can use wood or clay to build fences. Oh, that could be really good though as well. This is you immediately get 1 clay for every 2 clay you already have in your supply. I want all of these, if I'm totally honest. That one's no good, that one's no good. I don't think I want that one. And this is for later in the game because that's about cattle, which don't come out until stage 4. So what do you reckon? What do you reckon? We can exchange the clay for stone, immediately get a clay. Oh, one of these. So we need food in a minute. I'm going to have to go here to go and get this food, unless I go and cook these sheep. 2, 4, 6 food. Maybe it's worth keeping this fishing space accumulating. Or maybe it's better to go and cook the sheep now and let them accumulate until I'm ready to house them. I don't know. I think it would be fun to play this one. Yeah. So I'm going to play this one. Hang on. I'm getting ahead of myself. I haven't even gone there. I'm coming to the basic wish for children. So this allows you to get a new meeple. So you can stick them on the card so you know that they're ready for next round. You do need space for them though. So it says with room only. There's an urgent wish for children which comes out in round 5 later in the game, which doesn't require a room. So as long as you've got a spare room for them, you can go to this particular space. I can then play this one immediately after, and it says when you play, you immediately get 1 clay. And you can use wood or clay or a mix of both to build fences. So that's really nice. So what do I want to do? I need food. So I think I want to perhaps go and cook the sheep. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we're going to go cook the sheep. What I'm going to do actually is pop him there. He can be held by the stable. Convert these 2 sheep into 2 food each. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that worth it? No. I think I need 7 food. I've only got 6. I could use a grain. But I think ultimately that's going to be a waste. So let's cook that sheep too. Sorry, sheep. Okay, so we got our harvest. So let's bring everyone back. Just remembering that we have a baby meeple this round. They look the same as the normal farmers, but just remember that they've only come into the game this round. So first of all, we need to harvest our fields. So we take the first grain off of both fields, or any fields that we have. Then we have to feed. So I need to feed 7 food. So that's everyone happy. And then we breed our animals. We've only got 1 sheep still, so they are not breeding. So we're just going to go straight into stage 3. Pig market. Okay. The pigs are quite nice. It's the, once you upgrade, you can upgrade basically your fireplace to a cooking hearth. And the pigs then are worth 3 food. At the moment, my pigs are still only worth 2 if I cook them on the fireplace. So it could be an idea to start thinking about trying to swap that out as well. You can either like buy this hearth like straight out. Did I already put a clay down? I don't think I did. No, I didn't. There we go. And 2 wood. And a sheep. Okay, what's our plan? We need to go and get baby meeple. We're going to go and get baby meeple. Oh, but then I can play another one of these. Yes, I'm going to. what I'm going to do, I don't know. I don't really have a plan for this. We're going to come here to the clay pit. Take all of these clay. Oh, this is such a stupid idea. I'm doing what I usually do again and see a little combo, get excited about it, play it without actually thinking it through. But we're going to go with it. We're now going to use this guy to make a baby. And we can play this one here. Now, some of these cards have like arrows on them. In a normal game of Agricola, a multiplayer game, what you would do is you would play this card, then you'd pass it to the player on the left and they've got it in their hands, they're able to play it. In a solo game, you just play the card, pay any cost, so this is 1 food, and it just gets discarded, you don't get to see it again. So this says you immediately get 1 clay for every 2 clay you have in your supply. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs of 2 pairs. 4 pairs. So I get 4 extra clay. I don't know whether that's good. But it's just really accelerated how much clay I have. And that could be pretty beneficial for me. And now I've lost count of how much. Maybe I should count it properly. Hold on. I'm going to actually pay attention to what I'm doing instead of talking. Yeah, so I just pick up the right amount. That's okay. It's okay. I get distracted. I've only got 1 person. I really need to get some food because I've now got 4 meeples. They're going to be very hungry and I've got nothing to give them. Absolutely nothing to give them. I don't think I need to worry about renovating right now because it says when you play this, once you live in a stone house at the start of each round, you can build exactly 1 stable for 1 wood. I've got a little bit of time to do that. So maybe what I should be focusing on is getting another field and some vegetable seeds. Vegetable seeds are going to come out next time. I could be focusing on upgrading my fireplace. What I could be doing as well is using this clay to build fences because I'm allowed to, usually it's only wood, but I have this card which allows me to use it to build fences. Choices. Maybe I'll do that because then I could look to grab a couple of, I don't need them yet though. I was just thinking then I could look to house some animals and get them breeding. But I have no other way of getting food right now. And quite frankly, if I'm going to be grabbing animals, I'll probably send them straight to the market. Just thinking as well, I'm not sure I want to plough the field because maybe I do want to plough the field because I could plough the field next time, grab a vegetable seed next round. But then I'm thinking, if I go here to sow, the only thing I'm going to be sowing is a pumpkin, a vegetable, which isn't that, it's not a very powerful action, but I would be utilising the baked bread. I'm just thinking, should I go to upgrade to the half because then each grain is worth 3 instead? Or shall I look at the clay oven? Because then that each grain is going to give me 5 food. Oh dear. There's a lot to think about. I don't think I'm going to go wrong at many places, if I'm honest. So maybe I should just look to, I don't want to build fences, I'm going to look towards enhancing my ability to cook and stuff. What about if I go to the quarry and then I could, yeah, I'm going to come to the quarry. Is that stupid? I want to be using this at some point to upgrade my house. No, we're going to go for it. I'm going to grab that because next time I'm going to grab a stone oven, I think. Don't know. We'll think about it. Let's bring everyone home. We also want to get another room. There's about 50 things that you're trying to do at once. Let's replenish. Okay, so what I could do is upgrade my hearth, my fireplace. No, I didn't want to do that. I want to go and get a stone oven, perhaps. I could plough a field, grab a vegetable, and sow. Do I want to do that? Not really. Oh gosh. Okay, let's go here first. We're going to get the stone oven. So that's going to need 1 clay and 3 stone. It says bake bread. You can, when you do a bake bread action, you can swap 2 grain for 4 food each. Or each grain is worth 4 food, and you can do it up to 2 times. It then says, when you build this improvement, you can immediately take a bake bread action. So I am going to swap both of my grains for food, so I get 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we still need even more food. I'm eyeing up this fishing space. I'm going to try and leave it though, because I may need it. How much food am I missing now? I'm missing 4 food, so that's not bad. I could get that quite easily. I could go and get the pigs and just send them to market. Poor piggies, poor piggies. I need to start thinking about the farm expansion as well, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'd need 5 to build the room. And ideally I'd like another 2 to build a stable. So maybe I should go and get some reed, because I'm going to need reed for both building the room and renovating my house. What I could also be doing is playing one of these occupation cards. I still haven't played an occupation. Usually I try and do it quite early in the game. I don't think that they're that useful right now though. Not for where I'm directing. Maybe I should. Now I've got... Let's plough. I'm going to plough. Maybe I shouldn't have ploughed. I need food. What am I doing with all of this clay? Didn't I have something that I wanted to do with it? I wanted to swap it, didn't I? Yeah, here we go. Anytime you can exchange 2, 3 or 4 clay for 1, 2 or 3 stone. So what was that? 4 clay. So maybe I could, let's stick 4 clay to the side. I want to try and keep 4 clay back for doing that at some point, which means all of this could be used to build fences. Let's take back, I don't want to plough. I don't know if I want to plough right now. What I could instead do is go and build fences, go to the pigs and go to the sheep. I could, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. At least something's going to be happening then, whether I have to cook them or not. So let's build. I think I can use all of this. I don't think I need it for anything else because I'm not renovating to clay first. I will be hopefully renovating straight to stone. So let's use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can build 8 of these, which is really good. What do I want to do? Maybe I should make a big one. Or not. I never know how to efficiently do it. I'm going to make 2 separate ones, I think. I don't know, because I'm going to want another stable in a minute. Stables act to like double the capacity as well. So at the moment, like a little, if I built that, a spot like this, it's just one enclosed square, you can house up to 2 animals. With a stable in it, this doubles the capacity, so you could house up to 4. If you have this, by default, this would enclose 4 animals. The stable would then double it to 8. So I don't know what to do with it, if I'm honest. What I could do, let's build it like that. I can put my sheep in here. Let's put you back and get myself a clay back. and then I've got a little capacity to play around with. I'm going to go and grab my sheep so they can start breeding. And I need more food. So unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to go and slaughter these piggies. And they're worth 2 food each. 2 food each. Shall I do that? 1, 2, 3, 4. That would allow me to feed everyone. Yes. That felt inefficient. But we'll go with it. Okay. So, everyone's coming home. And we have a harvest. So, take our grain. We need some more fields desperately. Then we are feeding. So, we need 12. 3, 6, 9, 12. God, they're greedy. So greedy. And then we're breeding. So for the first time in this game, we are breeding and then have a little baby sheep. There we go. Don't know how it's going. I don't quite know how it's going. All right, cattle are coming out. Interesting. So cattle are worth quite a lot. In terms of they're worth 3 food. If you swap the fireplace for the hearth, they're worth 4 food. So they're very efficient to cook up. But they're also worth quite a lot of points at the end of the game. You only need, well, I say only, you need 6 or more cows to get the maximum points. It's really helpful. All the scoring is just handily at the side. So you don't need to sort of remember what you're doing or try and aim for. It's all there for you in front of you. So I want to do about 50 different things right now. I want to swap this clay out for stone. I'm just remembering the very last card. This game rewards multiple plays, like every game, but I do feel that if you played this game 100 times, you would be squeezing those top points every single time, because there's a last card in here and you can look at it, it doesn't matter, you'll know what it is. It's not like it's not, sorry, let me get my words out straight. There's only one card coming out in stage 6, so you know what that's going to be. I just can't remember the details of it. So this allows you to renovate and afterwards build fences. So it's just more efficient than necessarily going to this one. You could do all the renovation right at the end of the game. But I am also then thinking, this one, once you live in a stone house, at the start of each round you can build exactly 1 stable for 1 wood. I don't know. Right, so that's... Oh, maybe I should go and get some wood now then. So yeah, I think I'm just going to go and get some wood. Oh, I don't know. Oh, this game is so stressful sometimes. Okay. Oh, we need grain as well, not grain reed. Oh my gosh. It's okay. Let's go and get some reed. We need reed. We got so much stuff now. Then we're going to come up here, spend 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 reed for our final wooden room. I love the detail in this game. This little house here has a patchwork set up on their table. This one here has Agricola set up on their table. They're all, I haven't checked and cross-referenced every single one, but I think they're all unique in some way. It's gorgeous. Then I'm going to build a stables, I think. For 2 wood, let's stick you here in this little pasture here. And then I've got 1 more person. I could go here. Yes, because that will allow me to play this. Sorry, I'm saying. Oh, that'll allow me to play this. You can't see it. Let's do here. So we're going to make our last baby. We're then going to play this card, which allows me to spend a clay At any time, you can exchange 2, 3, 4 clay for 1, 2, or 3 stone. We're going to play that. We're going to do that immediately for 3 stone, which will, if we can get an extra 2 stone, which is already there, we can then renovate in potentially the last round of the game. Yes, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. We desperately need some more food. I'm forgetting about feeding our people. I'm getting a bit worried. However, we have managed to keep off the fishing space. So that's really good. So these cows could be good. As I said, cows are worth quite a lot of points. Food. Look at all this food. We really might need to go there this round because I've now got 5 meeples. So what's that? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 food I'm going to need to find. So maybe I should go and plough, get some animals. Yeah, I need to plough. Let's go and plough. We need to get a vegetable. We need to sow. See, boom, 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 I know what I'm doing. Ha ha ha. We're gonna plant this vegetable only. Remember, when you're planting vegetables, you only get 1 extra from the supply. And I'm going to bake bread. Yeah, I think that's better. So I'm gonna bake bread. I'm going to do it twice, as per my stone oven, so I get 8 food from that. And then maybe I could go fishing, and so hopefully I'll have quite a big surplus of food. Was that 6, 7, 8? I've got 2 more people. So how many more food do I need? I've got 6, 7, 8. I need 5, 6, 7 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'd have 4 left over there, which is quite nice. I could go and get the cattle as well, and they could start breeding. Oh, that's tasty, isn't it? Yes. So let's go fishing. We're going to take all of this food that's accumulated. I'm a little bit worried though that we're going to ideally need it later in the game. That's fine. That's fine. You do have like multiplier tiles that you can use instead of this stupid amount. I don't like using multipliers. I like seeing it all everywhere. I like fiddliness in a game. Then I'm going to go and get the cows. To get the cows? Yes, let's get the cows. Get the cows. So you guys are coming in this little area here. Nice, nice. So we have a harvest this round. And we need to feed everyone. Unfortunately, I do not have a baby meeple. They were born last year. Okay, so harvest festival. So now these fields are barren, these green ones. Get a vegetable back. And now I need to feed, so 15. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 food. And breed my animals. I should be able to house a sheep, but my sheep's going to have to be my pet. He's coming in the house with me. Oh. And my cow can go in here, this little pasture. And then that's that round. We're in stage 5. We're nearly there. We're not doing too bad. I did ideally want to start looking at some like other endgame scoring bits. There's a couple of major improvements here. So for example, like the joinery, you can exchange wood at the end of the game for extra points. That won't really be any good for us because we've been using the wood quite a lot. Maybe the clay could be better. Or actually, maybe the basket maker's workshop, because you can exchange reed for points. We'll worry about that in a minute. Let's get this one out. So there you go, urgent wish for children. So even if I didn't have 5 rooms, I could go there. If I had 4 meeples and 4 4 meeples, 4 rooms. I could still go there and get my 5th meeple. But that just doesn't allow you to like play an extra card after it. So it's like a desperate space. What I want to do though is actually get some pigs, because I don't have any pigs right now. I want to do everything. That's the trouble with this game, is you just look at the possibilities and you're like, I want to explore all of these options. And you can't do it all. I desperately need to play this at some point, the renovate directly to stone, otherwise I'm going to be in trouble. I also don't have enough stone to do the renovation anyway right now, so we do need to go and get that at some point. But there's no rush. I've still got this round and another round after that. I think maybe we'll just ignore this. That's immediately get 1 wood. Once you live in a stone house at the start of each round, you can build exactly 1 stable for 1 wood. Yeah, maybe we'll ignore that. It's a shame, if you don't build all your stables, you are missing out on points. But, yeah, no. Let's, therefore, we need to think about more food as well. Maybe I could go and plough. Yeah, let's plough. Let's utilise what we've got. We're ploughing. Let's plough down here. We can then potentially cultivations in the next card that's going to come out. I can't remember what the cultivation does. I think that allows you to plough and sow in the same action. So maybe I won't plough. Come back. We're not ploughing. We're going to plough next time. What we are going to do, though, is going to go and get some more grain. Shall I go and get another vegetable as well? Let's get another vegetable. So then we'll be very prepared for next round. But I do want to bake bread. Right, stop it. You're trying to do too much. While we've got time to like fanny around, we're going to go and play our first occupation card right at the end of the game, pretty much. So this is on the lessons space. Usually you have to pay 1 food to play an occupation, but your first occupation is free. So this is the first occupation I have played. Sorry if you can't see everything. Hopefully you can. There we go. So we can now renovate our wooden house directly to stone without renovating to clay first. Usually you go from your wood to clay, then clay to stone, but we can just skip the middle stage, which is fabulous. We have got 2 people left. Did I not replenish everything? Did I not replenish my cows? I didn't replenish my cows. Why didn't I replenish the cow? It's because I'm talking so much. I really want to build some more fences. So maybe I'll go and grab... Shall I go and grab the clay? Yeah, let's go and grab the clay. And then what I could do is build fences. Or shall I go and grab the stone now? We desperately need food. Really need food. We're going to go and build fences. So we're going to build, let's do it step by step. So 3. So I think I'm going to go 1, 2. Let's do it like this. 3. I can then spend my last clay and a wood to build 2 more. To then do this. Do I want to do that? Yes. No, we don't. We're going to do this and take our 1 clay and 1 wood back. That's it. We're going to come back. And we've got a lot to do this round. We need food, we need animals, we need basically everything. And we need to plough and sow. So I'm not going to talk whilst I replenish, otherwise I'm going to do it wrong. So those pigs are looking very nice. Ideally, I wanted to make bigger pastures. We'll see what we can do. Let's focus on one thing at a time. So we're going to come here and plough a field. Oh, this one's got cute little artwork. This one's got a little scarecrow in it. So that's cute. We're going to plough this field. Make sure they're all in the right direction. And then we're going to sow. So we're sowing this vegetable. We're also going to sow this vegetable. And we're going to sow this grain here. So we've got very full fields. So that's really good. And then what we could do actually is go and bake bread somehow. The thing is though, I don't really want to go here now to bake bread. You can't bake bread just like on the off. You have to go somewhere where it's like making you do a bake bread action. I could try and maybe get, I was going to say I could get the clay oven and do it, because then that allows you to bake bread immediately, but don't know. Let's think about it. I could just go and get the pigs, because they'd be worth, I've still only got 2, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8 food. I'm going to need more than that as well. I think we're going to have to do it. I think we're going to have to. We really need food, and I don't think I want to cook these animals right now. So we're going to bake bread. So that's 8 food. And then we're still quite a lot short. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need another 3 food. We can cope with 3 food. Maybe I'll go and get the pigs then. Perhaps. I could slaughter a sheep. Should I just get rid of a sheep? I don't know. It's the last round next time. So we're going to need to get some stone. So we need the stone. I really do ideally want this basket maker's workshop. So maybe I could funny about a bit there. Yes, let's do that. I've forgotten what I just said. What was I doing? I don't know, I've forgotten. Let's get the stone. I've got lots of stone. That's great. So we've got plenty of stone for our renovation. Oh, we need some more food. We could just cook a vegetable in a minute. So that's not too bad. We don't have to worry about that too much. But what I do want to do, I think, is get this basket maker's thingamajiggy. So I'm going to go here, grab this. So I have to pay 2 reed. So I'm going to want to try and get some extra reed next round, and 2 stone. Because this allows me in the harvest phase to swap a reed for 3 food. I've got 1 person left. Maybe I should go and plough. Or should I get a grain seed? Maybe I'll get a grain. Because you only get, like the more grain you've got, the more points you're going to get at the end of the game. I want at least 8 points. Well, to get the maximum amount of points for the grain, you need at least 8. I'm not going to get 8. Which is a shame. Maybe I should go and get the wood then. Should I go and get the wood and then I can build some more things in a minute? Or shall I get the cows? No, let's go. Let's get the wood. Let's get the wood. Yeah, we've got the wood. Okay. Harvest phase. Let's bring everyone home. And then let's grab all of our vegetables from our fields and our grain. Now we need to feed. So we can feed all 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we've got 1 hungry person. So let's think about how we want to feed you. what we could do is perhaps trade out a vegetable, because we need 4 or more vegetables at the end of the game to score the 4 points. We have 5 vegetables, so we could get rid of you for 2 food, so we need 1 food left. I think I'm going to slaughter this sheep. So that's where I have 2 food, so I get 1 spare food back. I think that was pretty good. We can now breed our animals, so we get a cow and a sheep. And our sheep can sit in our house again. And now we are on the final round. Oh my gosh, this is what we've been building up to. So let's replenish for the final time and see what we can do. Oh, I forgot to do this. Oh no, I forgot to do that. So actually, what I could have done, in the harvest phase, you would spend 1 of these to get 3 food. So what I could have done is retained my sheep. So I would have retained 1 sheep, which means I could... Oh, I don't know. I don't know how to reverse that now. It's fine. That's fine. We can go and get some more sheep if we want them. We've got 5 sheep. We would need 8 to get the top score. So I could go and grab more, but I don't have enough room for them right now. So first instance, we are going to come straight over here to spend 1 reed and 5 stone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To build an entire stone house. Fabulous. This is great. I'm so glad we managed to do it. So we can just swap all these out. These are double-sided, so you can, that's the clay house, and then you can flip it. But we're just going straight to the big upgrade. Oh no, we got rid of our game of patchwork. Yeah, these are less exciting. The wooden ones are much more exciting. And then it says afterwards you can build fences for 1 wood. So I think I'm going to build a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's spend 7 and then see where that gets us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, we're not, because we've only got 5 left. So let's see how we can do this efficiently. Like this, perhaps? Yeah, look at that. Yeah, that'd be good. Perfect. Now I'm going to go and grab these pigs. I don't know what to do with them all yet, so let's just chuck them in here. I wanted to build a stable as well, really. This is where you need to really sit down and think about how to squeeze every point out of it, because I'm just thinking, some of these have thresholds, so for 3 to 4 sheep you get 2 points. So it doesn't matter if I have either 3 or 4 sheep, I could trade in that 4th sheep for food. But then I'm like, oh, they're going to breed, am I going to have room to actually house them? Because in order to breed them, you actually need to immediately house them. You can't just breed and send them to market straight away. And I'm just not very good at that, especially on camera. So I don't know whether to just go and slaughter some sheep, or... Because even if I could go here to get some wood, here to build 2 stables, but there's just no point, really. I'm better off, I think, grabbing that reed, because that's going to be worth 2 points. Let's do that. That's going to be worth 2 points at the end of the game. I will not be using it to harvest. Just thinking 4 to 5 cows is going to give me 3 points. I would need 6 cows to get me the points. But the cows are worth more food than most other things. So I could slaughter a cow for 3 food. Honestly, I think I'm going to have to go and get rid of these cows, aren't I? Poor things. And just trade you in for food straight away. So that's 9 food. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I'm only 2 food short, which we can cope with. So final thing, at the end of the game, empty spaces are going to be worth -1 point. So I need to fill this with something. What do I want to fill it with? It is only 1 point, so maybe I shouldn't worry about it too much. What's going to be worth more to me? None of these are going to be helping me, really. They're too expensive. This is worth 4 points at the end of the game, but I need to pay a clay and 1 food per person I have, so that would be very expensive. That's worth 2 points, but I'd need bits and pieces. And I could play this, but that's doing the same as that, and it's more aesthetically pleasing, isn't it, to go over here and plough. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So let's plough a field, and then we're going to sow, and we're going to sow our grain. There we go. Final bit then, so everyone's coming home. Don't forget as well, we actually need to still gain more food anyway. Yeah, I'm going to keep my reed. I'm not going to harvest it. I am going to harvest. I wonder if that's whether you have to do that. Let me see if I can see in the rules whether you have to, because you have to harvest from your fields. I wonder if that is a necessity. That would be interesting if it is. I'll have a look. So it says each harvest you can turn at most 1 respective building material into food. So I'm assuming that doesn't mean you have to. So I am not going to do that. But I'm going to need to do something. So I need to feed everyone. So 4 people are quite happy. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need to find 2 food somewhere. So let's do a bit of thinking. So if I sold my sheep to market, where are we? I would still have 5 at the end of the game. So that's exactly the same as, I can't actually house another sheep right now. So that would probably be the best option, wouldn't it? My grain is quite valuable and my vegetables are valuable. So yeah, let's sell my sheep. He's worth 2 food and that last piece of food there. So everyone has been fed and then we're going to breed. So we can, unfortunately we are full up with cows. I wonder if it's beneficial to, let me think. Oh my God, I don't know. I don't think I can do the maths properly. I'm just thinking, I wonder if it's more beneficial for me to jiggle about my pigs. Let's move them all around. I could move you guys into there. You guys in here. I could slaughter a pig. And then I'd have 4 pigs. But you're giving me an extra point right now. And if I kept the cows, I'd have 5. So you're not getting me an extra point. No, reverse. I have to visualize it by doing it myself. There we go. Everyone's happy. We get an extra pig, but we don't get an extra cow because we can't fit him in. There we go. And that, everybody, is the end of the game. Okay, so now we can go into final scoring. I've just gone and get a calculator because I can't add as well as talk at the same time. Very helpfully, there is like a section at the side. It's like a puzzle piece. It like just clips in according to what your player count is. And then you can sort of calculate your score from there. So it's really helpful. But basically, for every field, we get some points. So for 5 or more fields, we get 4 points. I have 5. So we get 4 points for that. And then for 4 or more pastures, we get 4 points. I have got 1, 2, 3, 4 pastures exactly. So we get another 4. Then we move on to vegetables and grain. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grain. So we only get 2 there, which is a shame. But we do have 4 vegetables, so we get 4 points for our veggies. Sheep, we've got 5 because we've got a pet sheep, so that's 2. And then pigs, we've got 6 pigs, so that's 3 points. And then cows, we've only got 4, so that's worth 3 points. At the end of the game, any empty space on our board, we have nothing that's empty, so we don't have to minus 1 point at the end of the game for those, so that's great. If you've upgraded to clay rooms, for every clay room in your house you would have 1 point, but we have stone, so we'll ignore that. For every worker you have, you get 3 points, so we've got all 5, so we get a nice 15 points there. For every enclosed stable, we have 1 point, so we only get 2. We didn't build our final 2 stables, unfortunately. Every stone room in our house we get 2 points, so we've got all 5 stone rooms, so that's another 10. And then finally we have a look at the cards. I have this Basket Maker's Workshop here, so at the end of the game I can spend 4 reed to get 2 points. I wanted to get the 5, but I couldn't squeeze that. And then there's some final points on some of these cards as well. So 1 for the fireplace, 3 for the stone oven, and another 2 for the Basket Maker's Workshop. So that's 5, 6 extra points. So we've got, wow, 57 points there, which is actually really, really good. Unfortunately, they don't really have like a table to sort of compare what your score should be or what a really good score is. They do give you like what a good score is in the multiplayer game, but as there's no competition for spaces here, you can't really compare it to that because it's a much easier time in this game to like get a reasonable score. What usually happens when I play, I actually like to play the campaign, and I will explain a little bit in my final thoughts what the campaign looks like. It's not like a big grandiose campaign, but it sort of like helps you to build up and up and up and pushes you that bit further every time because you have a target score and that continues to increase after every game you play. So we would have well and truly beat that. I believe the very first game you play, I think you need 50 points, so we got 57, so that's brilliant. But anyway, that is Agricola. That is the one of Uwe Rosenberg's early games and probably his most well-known game as well, the solo mode straight out of the box. I hope you enjoyed the playthrough, and I will be back in a moment with my final thoughts on Agricola. So just sharing some final thoughts on the solo mode of Agricola. So I actually hadn't played this one until very recently, and I only got it a few months ago. I played, is it Agricola, All Creatures Great and Small, the 2-player only version many years ago, and I owned that one for a very long time. And this was when I was in my like baby board gamer phase, I would say. I only had a very small collection. I knew that I really liked them, but I just didn't really play that much. But that was honestly one of my favourite games I owned. I loved it so much. I was very charmed with the Animeeples. Unfortunately, because it is quite a competitive game, my husband didn't particularly like it that much, and it wasn't really one that you could play solo, or at least you would have to have gone hunting for a solo mode in it. So that one is no longer in my collection now, and I recently acquired Agricola. Agricola, I was anticipating to be feeling quite old-fashioned, feeling quite old and tired. Essentially, this is, not the first worker placement, I don't believe, but it's certainly one of the earlier ones. It was released in 2007 initially, so for the board gaming world, it's certainly a well-trodden game and it's very well known. But I was thinking it was going to be, because I've played quite a few more modern games, or newer games, it was going to feel maybe not quite so exciting, not so tight, not so like fresh and interesting. I thought it was going to be very dry, but I actually fell in love with this game when I first played it solo. Honestly, I don't think it's going to be everyone's cup of tea. There isn't too much variation in setup. I say that you are going to get a different set of cards each time. And so you are going to see different occupations, you are going to see different improvements that come out. The major improvements all stay the same. So from that point of view, there is a lot of variation in the card play. I find it quite difficult myself to sort of focus on the cards. I'm very much more focused on the board. So for people that are sort of better at board games, I would anticipate that they feel that there is a bit more variation here than normal, perhaps. But in terms of like the game setup, like the board itself, you're going to see the same game every time, and especially in those first few rounds, you may feel that you are playing the same game every time. However, I felt that this had a certain charm to it because you could see everything growing quite rapidly and expanding, and it plays in a very reasonable amount of time. It's not difficult to set up. There's not hundreds of pieces everywhere. You've got just 3 animals and 2 crops you're dealing with. The cards are super easy to come out, and I love the idea that you don't know exactly when that card's going to come out, but you know it's going to come out either this round or the next round. Everything is streamlined, straight to the point, quick to set up, quick to play. Each turn is very quick, and it just tickled me in a way that a lot of other worker placements don't. I feel a lot of them can feel quite bloated. There's a lot of options available to you, like a Feast for Odin, that can feel extremely overwhelming. But this one just strips it all back to its base features, and I think really succeeds in that. And I can really see how this game has become so big, and I really feel that this definitely still has a place in people's collections even today. There are a couple of other reasons why I think this one is particularly good as well. Not only just solo, it can feel quite competitive in a multiplayer game, but you know, I've heard a lot of people say, oh, they don't like it because it's too difficult to feed your people and it is too competitive, and in a multiplayer you're always getting in each other's way. Honestly, I didn't find it that bad. This is the solo setup, and so the board is the smallest type you will see. There's a lot of other little bits and pieces in the box that for each player count you can like add on and let extra extension. There may be a couple of extra spaces that you can go to, and some of these do help you to feed your people, so it is very much a factor you need to be quite concerned and aware of, but at no point did I find that spoiled my enjoyment of the game. I really like this game because of the price point as well. This is a game that I managed to pick up for the bargain price of about £25, but more realistically it's probably between the £30 to £40 mark, and I think that this gives so much replayability for that price point. You look nowadays at what a board game costs, and you'd be lucky to find one for the £40 mark, really. Especially if you look on Kickstarter, they're going up to the 60s, 80s, over £100. But this gives you so much. The components are lovely. The artwork pops. The meeples and the components, the wooden components are just gorgeous. The cards are thin, but they're perfectly fine. They look really nice. They're very clear. The symbology is very nice. You know exactly sort of what's going on. I think that and also I'm meaning to say in a lot of words, the amount of replayability you can get from the cards is just phenomenal. In the base game alone, you've got the decks that are quite big. You do have to remove some of the cards for like 3 or 4 player games. You have to just sort through them to make sure you're not playing with those intended for higher player counts. But you can buy new decks of cards for a very, very reasonable price. And I just can't even comprehend how much replayability this game would have once you introduce those. A lot of the games that you can buy from Uwe Rosenberg, you may need like an extra expansion to like expand its replayability. Or in a lot of games you would need so much extra componentry. But in this, I believe I've seen them for about £8, I think, these decks of cards. For £8, so I would be spending under £35 still for this base game and a deck of cards to like double the amount of replayability. I think it's very, very impressive. And the card play in this is where I feel this particularly shines through. I'm still learning that part of it and learning how to notice those intricacies between the card play and the places on the board. But the more and more I play it, the more I appreciate how much depth there is to this game and how well put together it is. Honestly, I think I said this in one of my monthly vlog videos. I feel like this game has been tried and tested so many times, and this is the product of you can feel years and years and years of hard work and improvement and refinement, because this feels like it's been play tested so well. You can just feel everything feels very balanced, and you're just sat there half the time being like, I can squeeze an extra point there, but I can see I can squeeze an extra point there, so ultimately it doesn't matter where I go. And I just feel like that is a very beautifully put together game, and it feels very rewarding seeing it all come together so seamlessly. Now, I will talk about the little campaign as well. I call it campaign. I'm sure many people will say it's not a campaign. Well, it's described as a campaign in the book, so I'm going to call it a campaign. I love playing this way. So what happens is you play the game exactly as we just did today, and you have a target score. So I believe the very first game is your target score is 50. And if you get that points, you win and you go into game 2. So when you restart game 2, you pick one of the occupation cards that you have played during that game to retain and take over into your second game. So for example, I played the one that allows me to renovate straight to the stone house before you miss out the clay renovation. So I would take that into game 2, and I would start with that already played in my tableau. In addition, you would also gain an extra, I think, 2 food for every point you exceed the target score by. So it gives you a flying start, basically. You can get going as much quicker than you would in a standard game. But the catch is that the target score is increasing by that first reasonable amount, and then it goes like closer and closer together. So at the end, I think you're getting like trying to get 67 points or something like that. I found that this is an absolutely brilliant way to play. It helps to sort of push you in different directions. I've particularly found in this game that I can go down a certain route. Like I always try and renovate my house to stone, and I usually push animals to the latter part of the game rather than early. And so I feel like you can sort of get stuck down a little rut, but playing the campaign can really help to focus you in on a particular aspect of the game and help you run with that particular aspect. So it just so happens that mine was like renovation, but there's so many more like occupations that you could have like chosen. So we'll just have a look at some other ones here. So this one was again renovation, but this is like about the wood accumulation space. So if you're like going there at every single time, that could allow you to really get a lot of food, because every time you go to the accumulation spot, you can bake bread. This is again with how many rooms you've got. This allows you to build fences, but essentially you can make them cheaper. This is about harvesting grain. So you can really sort of focus in on a certain aspect of the game and just explore it. And the way that all the points keep ticking up and your target score keeps ticking up each and every time. I think it's 8 games you play back to back. I think I got to game 6 of 8, and I just couldn't reach that score. It was getting quite hard. I managed to get to a point in my game where I didn't manage to play a new occupation card. So essentially, I think I was 1 game behind, and I just couldn't keep up with the pace of it. Loved it. I thought it was fabulously simple, but it just enhanced the game to me beyond what is essentially a standard worker placement beat your own score game. I've literally just been staring at the board and all of the components for the past couple of minutes, trying to come up with something negative or something to say about this game where I think it falls down. But this is just a testament to how well tested and how well implemented this game is, because I can't really think of anything. You just need to be aware of what sort of game it is going into it. So it is a beat your own score. It is very similar in terms of setup. You're not going to see a vastly different game every time you play, bar all of the cards that are going to come out. But you are, focusing on either the house, the animals, or your crops, essentially. It's just a really, really fun game, and it's so rewarding seeing everything grow. It's certainly a game where the very first 2/3 of the game go by really quickly. You'd be looking at your clock and be like, I've only been playing for 20 minutes and I'll be done in another 5 probably. But, trust me, it does ramp up a little bit towards the end. So that bit's really fun to sort of see it all unravel. And once again, with the Uwe Rosenberg games, the artwork on everything is just gorgeous. It's really nice to see the little Easter eggy type bits of artwork. So I've got my little player board here with crows on the field spaces, and I believe all the others don't have that. And I said that one of the fields have a little scarecrow on. I love seeing all of those little pieces. Really, really makes the game just that little bit more special for me. So that is Agricola Solo Mode. I think I will just leave it there. This one is really fun, and for the price point it is nowadays, especially you can find it secondhand as well. As I would say, try and get the anime pools because they're just adorable. But yeah, this game really holds its own in this day and age, and I think it's still very much worth having in your collection, as long as you don't mind beat your own score. So thank you very much for watching the playthrough today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel and you will be let know of any future releases that I do. Otherwise, have a lovely rest of your day and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.